5 on your side at 4. Focused on you.
Today, St. Louis advocates are pushing for community support to get compensation for victims of radioactive waste. Just hours ago, U.S. Senator Josh Hawley shared the latest details on where the fight for funding stands in Congress. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson. Kay Quinn has the day off. Right now, Senator Hawley is pushing for the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act, but it could be facing roadblocks. Justina Coronel is in studio with more on this. What can you tell us, Justina?
Kelly, so we heard from Senator Hawley earlier today to talk about the status of the negotiations on the National Defense Authorization Act, also known as NDAA. Now, attached to this is the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act, known as RECA. Just this summer, Hawley was able to secure an amendment to it, which includes compensation for victims in the St. Louis region. Now, for today's conference call, I was with the advocacy group Just Moms STL as they closely listened to those updates. Hawley said right now the biggest holdup with the NDAA negotiators is the price tag on RECA. Originally, it was $147 billion. However, Hawley said they were able to rework it. Now, it still includes the same geographical areas, but they were able to reduce that number of years it will need to cover, and they were able to bring it down to a few $billions. Now, Just Moms co-founders John Chapman and Karen Nichols say this week may be the most critical week in their 10-year fighting journey.
It's just very hard to listen to somebody talk about a price tag on your life. We deserve to be in this program, you know. We're a very sick community.
The biggest thing is to focus on leadership, focus on Leader McConnell and Speaker Johnson. That's where the decision lies.
Now, RECA was enacted in 1990 and it could expire this summer. Senator Hawley has threatened to stall the entire NDAA voting process if RECA is slashed. Now, we're told final votes by Congress are most likely happening before the holidays.
Well, this man is dead after being shot by police officers in O'Fallon, Missouri. Police say Douglas Phipps was shooting at the City Hall clock tower when officers arrived last night. Phipps later led police on a car chase to Spring Court, where police say he pointed a gun at officers. 2 officers fired at him. 1 officer has 24 years of experience. The second, 5 years. Neither were hurt. We're also following another deadly shooting involving police officers in St. Charles County. The latest incident happened last night on Fox Bridge Court in Lake St. Louis. Police say it started when the department received a call about someone shooting a gun. When officers arrived, the man walked out of the house with 2 guns. They say the man tried to fire one of the guns during a struggle, so the officer shot him. The man died at the hospital. An officer with 12 years experience had a minor hand injury. Police are looking for the people responsible for a smash and grab at a bar in Afton. Officers arrived to the bar Roma on Gravois overnight and found the front window had been broken. They say the suspect broke in and took cash from the register. Water crews are on the scene of a water main break in downtown Belleville. This was the scene about 3 hours ago on Main Street. Water spilled into businesses and basements on the north side of the block. Main Street remains closed between High Street and Charles Street. The water department says the fix should take several days. It's been a chilly and wet day. Here's a live look from downtown St. Louis. It is expected to warm up a little later this week, quite a bit actually. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is here with the weather first forecast.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
Scotty.
Kelly, the emphasis is later this week. There's not going to be a lot of warm weather the next couple of days. In fact, we're reinforcing the cool air in place overhead. Just as skies are starting to clear, there is yet another system trying to push in our way, and it's a fast mover. Right now in St. Charles, we do have some sunshine breaking through those clouds, but it's not going to last. Of course, sunset's not too far from now anyway. Temperatures are in the mid-40s, a cool afternoon. There's a look up in Florissant right now where you see some of that sunshine breaking through the clouds. Talking about a quiet radar sweep right now here. That's not the case as we go up towards Omaha and Lincoln up in Nebraska. That's the fast-moving system that's heading our way. It rolls through here tonight, and it's going to bring us a quick hit of rain showers overnight. Dry weather returns for Wednesday into Thursday, and yes, it will turn warmer, but probably not until Thursday. And then we get active again heading into the weekend. More on that, Kelly, in just a few minutes.
See you then, Scott. Metrolink making some operational changes. This comes after complaints over a pilot program it launched in October. Metro Transit tried single-car trains after crime plagued the transportation system, but riders complained about crowds and difficulty during rush hour. So 2-car trains will operate on the red and blue lines on weekdays. Then after 8 p.m. and on weekends, Metrolink riders will only be able to board the front train car. The rear cars will be closed.
It's back to business as usual. You know, when you're riding during rush hour and we need that extra space, it'll be there. So you don't have to worry about not being able to get on. So I think it will free our customers up to enjoy our services as they did in the past.
Metro Transit officials believe the changes are best for safety and their customers. Tensions are rising as fighting escalates in the Gaza Strip. As NBC's Alice Barr reports, today there are fears the conflict could spread across the region.
The war in the Gaza Strip has moved south. The people fleeing it are running out of options. Israel is targeting Hamas leaders believed to have regrouped in the south. But that's where Israeli officials told civilians to come when fighting was concentrated in the north. The White House pressed today on its message to Israel, a top U.S. ally.
And what we have indicated to the Israelis is they need to use every means and tool that they have available to be sure that when they actually move in force into an area in the south, that they do so with some confidence that people have actually gotten safe passage out of that area.
The Biden administration has been ramping up pressure on Israel to protect civilians.
International humanitarian law must be respected. Too many innocent Palestinians have been killed.
In this kind of a fight, the center of gravity is the civilian population. And if you drive them into the arms of the enemy, you replace a tactical victory with a strategic defeat.
Israel is now dropping leaflets with digital maps telling civilians to move from one quadrant of Gaza to another for their safety. But many don't have internet to read the QR code and don't believe that anywhere is safe. It comes amid growing concerns that the conflict could spread. Defense officials confirming to NBC News that a U.S. warship shot down 3 drones that were heading toward it off the coast of Yemen. It happened during a sustained attack on commercial ships in the Red Sea. 3 of the ships were hit. It's unclear if the American warship was a direct target. Iranian-backed Houthi rebels claiming responsibility, calling it a show of support for Palestinians in Gaza. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And as soon as this week, the Senate is expected to take up funding fight for both Israel and Ukraine. The White House is warning leaders in Congress that money to support Ukraine against Russia is running dry. Lawmakers need to act by the end of the year. Still ahead, a sad story about a boy who went years without a legal name. See the effort by his grandmother to make it right. Plus, a follow-up on the death of a 6-year-old boy killed because he was Muslim. The boy's father is filing suit.